Hey all, welcome to today's session, using AI to evaluate your teaching. My name is Rahul Noria. I'm excited to share my thoughts on this topic. So what we'll start out first is talking about generating complex prompts. So let's assume that you have an idea roughly of what you want to do with a prompt, but you don't know how to finish it or how to put it all together. We'll talk about a technique to help you be able to generate that and generate your final prompt. We'll be breaking this video apart into two different parts. The first part will be talking about reflecting on a teaching experience. So let's assume you just taught. You want to be able to reflect on it, be able to self-improve, be able to improve your teaching philosophy or teaching methodology, or you just need something for your promotion dossier. We'll talk about how to develop the prompt for that, and specifically for this, we'll be using ChatGPT, but any of the prompting that we do, that we build, it should be applicable to any AI platform you would like to use, whether it's Gemini, Copilot, Claude, Perplexity, or anything else. The second part is going to be evaluating your presentation material. I would recommend doing this before you go into the classroom. You can try to see your pitfalls, see where there are gaps in your presentation material before you go in, and that way you can effectively optimize your teaching in the classroom. We'll go ahead and use Notebook LM for this, but it applies the same way as what we talked about before. You can utilize this in ChatGPT or any other AI platform. So the goal for the first part is really taking a look at developing a way for us to do a guide through self-reflection and having AI be that guide for us. For me specifically, the objectives I want to take a look at is one, be able to be guided one question at a time. Oftentimes what I'll see is that ChatGPT will ask me multiple questions at once rather than one at a time. I don't want to be overwhelmed when I'm doing my self-reflection, so I would personally like it to be one question at a time. The second thing is I don't want to shortchange my experience when reflecting. And so what do I mean by that? I want AI to push me. Whenever I am not reflecting enough, I want it to be able to challenge me, probe me, ask me additional questions. That way I'm getting the full optimization of the reflecting experience. The last part is I don't have a reflective model going on in, so I'll leave it to AI to be able to generate its own reflective model for me. For the second part, the goal for that is really developing a way for AI to peer review me on my presentation, activities, or anything else before I go into the classroom. So to help me with that, I'd like it to provide me with strengths and opportunities for improvement. That way I know where there's gaps, pitfalls, strengthen those up before I go into the classroom and optimize it. Last thing is, I'll probably come in with some idea of what the major concepts I want to hit in the presentation or the activities. If AI is generating something different than what I have in mind, that's not a good thing. That means that there's a disconnect in my presentation, activity, or whatever else I'm having AI to peer review in terms of my teaching methodology. So it's good for me to know what the major concepts it highlights and be able to compare that with whatever my highlights are and see if there's a disconnect. So let's circle back into how to generate that complex prompt. And what we'll be doing is asking AI to develop the prompt for us. And this is a really useful technique, especially if you have an idea of what the prompt should look like but don't know how to put it all together. This will save you some time and be able to get the prompt and be able to get the tasks that you want the AI to be able to do as appropriately as possible. So let's go ahead and jump on into ChatGPT to be able to take a look at this. Hey all, now that we're in ChatGPT, we'll talk about deconstructing the prompt I put together. Before we begin though, I'd like to share a caveat. I'm using the premium version of ChatGPT. However, any of the prompting techniques that we're talking about and any of the responses should be similar to those that you'd see in the free version of ChatGPT or for any other AI platforms you plan on using. Let's now circle back to the prompt that I put together and deconstruct it. So for the first part, what I did is gave it the task. The task that I wanted to do is construct a prompt for ChatGPT. The next part that I put together is the goal. It should know what direction I want for the prompt that I want to help build. And so that goal is to help me go through a reflective process and have a conversation with ChatGPT being the guide. The next part that I put together are the parameters I wanted to follow to help build that prompt. So I wanted to make sure it can ask me questions one at a time. I wanted to make sure it can challenge me on my views where I don't provide enough detail or the reflection is too shallow. This goes back to shortchanging myself on the reflective experience. The last part that I did is add in the following question. What questions do you have before providing a response? What this question allows you to do is it allows the AI bot to be able to have a dialogue back and forth, clarify any questions, that way it can provide the most accurate response back to you. So, when I hit enter and get a response back from ChatGPT, you can see that it asked me 5 new questions. And these questions are going to be able to help guide it and be able to build the most optimal prompt for me. You can see that all 5 questions are relevant. So as we go through, you can see that I went ahead and tried to answer each of these questions. You can see that I didn't copy and paste the questions back and forth. I just went ahead and put in 1 and provided an answer. Don't forget that these are chatbots and they know context and content from whatever has been done previously. So you can just go ahead, type in 1 and then provide a response to it. You can see that it provided a prompt for me, and we'll go through and deconstruct it and what it did. So it said, I would like to engage in a reflective process to analyze my recent teaching experience in a specific class. So it's going about the goal that I had it set out to do. Now within the goal, it went ahead and added in more information based on the questions it asked. So you can see that it said the goal is to improve my teaching strategies, enhance my teaching philosophy, support my personal growth as an educator. Those all came from the questions it asked me prior to. What you can see it added in next is it added in guiding me questions one at a time, focusing on different aspects of the teaching experience, including student engagement, content delivery, challenges faced, and my overall teaching effectiveness. It also included the part about challenging me whenever my answers seem shallow or lack sufficient detail. You can also see, in addition to it, it asked to help identify areas where my teaching may have been more effective or areas that need improvement. Feel free to prompt me to reconsider assumptions or biases I may have in my approach, specifically regarding student engagement or content delivery. So we should be having a back and forth conversation based on that second paragraph. So let's see how this is in action. So what we'll do is we'll copy and paste this prompt. You can't do it in the same prompt, so don't try to copy and paste this in the same prompt. So it'll just try to re-update and try to reformat the prompt. So what we'll have to do instead is create a new chat with ChatGPT to be able to test this prompt out. So if we go ahead and test this prompt out, what I did is again copy and pasted it into here. You'll see it will start asking me the first question, and it's beginning with student engagement. To test it out and see if it will go ahead and try to probe me and challenge me when I don't provide enough of a reflection, it asked me how was student engagement level during the session. What I said was student engagement was bad. You can see the next prompt that it provided was, when you say student engagement was bad, it asked to clarify it. What do you specifically mean? And so it is doing its job of challenging me and asking me questions one at a time. So with this, I hope this helped in terms of building out the right prompt for you in terms of being able to self-reflect for whatever your goals are. I appreciate you taking the time to view this. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to any one of us. Thank you again for taking the time to watch this.